Oh, this is going to be fantastic. Parents of teenagers, listen up. I have a special guest with me today, Jesselyn Medlock. She is a licensed social worker and has worked with all ages, but specializes in teens and how we can connect with them when they're kind of like pushing us away and just being really difficult. So thank you so much for being with me here today. And you talked about having two buckets that
Uh,
teens need to fill, that we need to
mhm.
fill for them each and
Uh-huh.
every day. Can you talk about that? And then also give us a little bit of background of, you know, your idea of why we're not so connected to our teens.
So there's honestly, there's lots of things working against parents right now in terms of connecting with teens. So it's harder than ever to be able to find things to connect with teenagers on now, simply because a lot of their social lives are online. And unless you're a part of that community and you kind of have the ticket, it's a whole lot harder for parents now to be involved. And there are also lots of different social interactions going on now. But one of the main things is a lot of the times we don't see the ends that they're giving us,
Right.
or we are too busy to put the time in to do it, which happens a lot. And so my whole goal is I want parents to be able to really parent with intention, especially because right now during this teenage phase, you get so little time allotted to you because you're the parent, and you need to be able to take advantage of that time, even if it's just a small amount. And that's where this buckets idea comes in. Now, this can be applied to pretty much any age, but specifically related to teenagers, it's really good to kind of have in your back pocket, simply because if you've got a minute or two where you're just with your kid, you can work on filling up one of those buckets. And that in and of itself builds their neural network to be connected with you and builds trust and all that good stuff.
All right. Awesome. I'm excited to hear about these two buckets. So let's talk about bucket number one.
Okay, so bucket number one is our attention bucket, and everybody's got this bucket, and it is basically something. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's we are looking for some sort of attention, whether it be positive or negative. It almost never matters, especially with kids. Teenagers, especially, have a really difficult time asking for attention in appropriate ways, and a lot of the time they will end up seeking attention in inappropriate ways. And then we end up only giving attention when they're doing things that are inappropriate. Excuse me,
Yeah.
I've got allergies. It's really polleny here.
Yeah. And that's definitely for all ages, like you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, specifically with teenagers, just taking the time to listen to them is a really good way to fill their attention bucket. I don't know if you've noticed, but teenagers tend to info dump. Even teenagers that are neurotypical tend to info dump. So, what I mean by that is they pretty much know what they know a lot about one or two specific things. And if you know what those specific things are, you get an in and you can say, like, hey, tell me about, X, Y, and Z that you're interested in this week. And just sit and listen to them. That is super powerful in and of itself.
Yeah, I love that. I remember, I'm trying to think of the quote, but it was something like, talk to your kids about things that don't matter, and they'll talk
Hmm.
to you about things that do.
Yes,
So,
yes. And that's
yeah,
so true.
yeah, and I love that because they're not going to say, "Oh, I need some attention." They're going to be
Mm-mm.
like acting out or being sassy or nasty, trying
Yeah,
to yell at you.
or even just like, hey mom, listen to what happened at school today. Just keeping up with what's happening within their little lives is a really good way to build connection with them, because they tend to really get invested in that kind of thing. And if you're invested in it too, then they have a reason to come to you with that kind of thing.
Right, right, right. I love it. So that's the first bucket, the attention bucket. And what's
Yep.
interesting was, while I was traveling, I found these cards. It's for teens. It's like it's not really a card game, but there's all different questions on the cards. So me and
Hmm.
my granddaughter, who is 12, we were playing this game, and it was like bringing up so many conversations that we never would have had.
Hmm.
So it was really awesome game. And actually, I'm going to put that in the comments of the video because I thought it was super helpful.
That's a really great idea. And I actually play those games. I've played those games a lot with teenagers simply because, like you just said, it's a really fun and easy way to kind of get to know each
Mhm.
other. And there are lots of ways you can make regular games just like that. I've thrown beach balls around with little questions marked
Oh, that's
on
great.
them. That has worked. I've played question Jenga. You write questions on the pieces, and if you pull one out you got to answer the question. Like, those are really easy ways. So especially if you feel like you're kind of lost and you don't know what your teenager even really likes,
Mhm.
those are good ways to find out.
Yeah, yeah, there was some really great questions. I'll definitely gonna show. I'll send a picture of that game. So let's talk about the second bucket.
Okay, so your second bucket is their power bucket. So for teenagers, this is especially important. We all know that teenagers are always trying to gain some sort of specific kind of power, and that's because they are growing up. They're all of their reasoning areas in their brain are developing, and they need to have a sense of control, and they need to have a sense of power in order to be